Uber's rolling out a new feature today that lets women request a woman driver and vice versa.
Hold on, wait a minute. They don't have to ride in the car with men anymore. Well, how the hell I'm gonna get them alone?
When we were younger, our parents told us, do not get into a stranger's car. And all of a sudden, we got Uber. And then we let our guards down because it gave us a false sense of safety, forgetting that we are actually in a dangerous place, like in somebody else's car, that they can do whatever they please with us. And we have like limited control over the environment. So because of that, recently we've had a wave of women on TikTok sharing stories about violence and harassment in Ubers. It's quite disturbing, but at the same time, not too surprising given the context I just laid out for us. But so in this video, we're going to talk about the violence that women have faced. We'll then talk about what Uber has done, the policies that they have created to solve that. And then we'll also talk about some people that are upset about the policies that have been set up to protect women. Only God knows why. But anyway, before we get into that, welcome to Tea with Tokwase, where I serve you the hottest tea on the internet, on TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, and sometimes X. If this is your first time seeing me on your screen, hello, welcome. And if it's not your first time, welcome back to the channel. Happy to see you. Please do well to subscribe because it's kind of weird that you're watching me and not subscribing. Anyway, please do subscribe. It's a free way to support me and just give me the ginger, to create more of these videos. All right, let's get into it.
Yesterday, I was almost kidnapped on my birthday. I was at the Jagged Edge concert in Inglewood, LA County, California. Make sure that you save this video and share it with someone. This could be a video to keep you from getting kidnapped and getting taken away from your family. As I assess everything that happened, I believe that concert venues are being targeted. I wrote down everything that I could remember that kind of were like red flags, but they weren't red flags. You put everything together. I called for Uber Black. It was my birthday, right? Within 1 minute of me paging for the Uber Black, the person was calling me on the phone. I thought that was weird that Uber was calling me that's fast because it said they were 6 minutes away. But now I come to the realization they were calling me on the phone to make sure that I was a woman. Now they said that this is number 2. They said that the roads were blocked off. Could I meet them at a particular spot? And I was like, well, I'm not from here. I don't know those roads. So I probably wouldn't even be making this video if I had met him at the spot that he wanted to meet me at. Concert venues are being used because the roads are closed and it makes it easier for them to redirect you into an easier spot for you to be kidnapped. 2, I think that or 3, I don't know what number I'm on. I think that they're using Uber Black because once you do Uber Black, you kind of like lower your defenses because it's like a more trusted service. The driver's supposed to be, the driver comes to you dressed in a suit and looking nice. Okay, so then I had to have him meet me at a place that I knew. When I got to the vehicle, I was like, you're supposed to get out of the car, open the door for me because that's what Uber Black's supposed to do. He's like, oh, no one told me. And I was like, yeah, you're supposed to get out of the car. And then he said, no one told me. So I did that twice. And at that point, I probably should have walked away, but I just wanted to like get home. So when I got in the car, he had his suit on. So I'm like, okay, so you knew enough that you're supposed to have a suit on. The reason he didn't get out of the car is because people would have saw what he looked like and they would have saw what he looked like next to me because of course it was a bunch of people around. So anything like I would have been on the news the next day and people would have been able to identify him because they was like, oh yeah, I saw that girl get in the car with this guy and he looked like this. So that's a big takeaway that you should take from this. That Uber Black driver is supposed to get out and open that car door for you. That's part of the Uber Black service. When I got in the car, I said, oh, you're supposed to mark that you picked me up. And he was like, oh, I'll mark it when we get to the point. Like he was going to get in the car. Like he was saying that he was going to drive to the point wherever he was supposed to get me. Then he was going to mark that he picked me up. I ain't never known an Uber driver to miss out on money because that would have had him missing out on money. Well, next, I said, no, you can mark that you picked me up now. He canceled the ride. I just happened to be looking at my app in my hand. Like I didn't go, like sometimes you get in the car and people start doing other stuff. I was paying attention to that app the whole time. So he canceled the ride. And when you cancel a ride, there's a process that you have to go through to cancel the ride. You can't just hit cancel. Uber asks you, do you want to cancel the ride? And then they'll ask you why. So he purposefully canceled that ride. By him canceling that ride, the GPS turned off and all the information for him that was in my phone was automatically lost. I don't have it. Of course, when he canceled that ride, that was at the point where I started to freak the fuck out. And I was like, let me out the car, let me out the car. And I kept trying to get out the car. And as I'm trying to get out the car, the whole time I could see him looking for a point to take off, like drive off. But thank God for LA traffic. Now that I think back, I remember hitting the unlock button and getting out of the car. And honestly, I was in such a daze after that happened. I've been in like a daze all day long because I thought I was too old to be kidnapped. But my friends said they are kidnapping Black women. That's because the police are not going to put the money behind whatever it takes to find us.
I've wanted to make this TikTok for 2 weeks now, and I honestly couldn't do it because I was so traumatized by what happened to me. And I'm just finally able to really fully delve into it and talk about what happened. I just want to make this video because I want people to be safe. I was in an extremely traumatic and unsafe situation, and I just want people to be aware that you can't ever be too sure. Also, just a side note, I'm getting ready for bed. Don't mind that. No, I'm not going to sleep with my makeup on, but just putting that out there. This is not a look. So getting into it, I was in an Uber 2 weeks ago. I was leaving a friend's house and I decided to Uber to her house because I thought that we were going to be having a wine night. We didn't end up drinking, but I thought that it was the safe option to take an Uber, and it turned out to be the complete opposite, and it was completely unsafe. So I get in this Uber and immediately it's a little bit odd, but I didn't think too much of it. My boyfriend had called the Uber for me, and because it was his name on the Uber request, the Uber driver started asking me for my information, and I had told him, my boyfriend called this Uber, no big deal, but he opened his notes app and he asked me to put my name, address, phone number, all my information, which I declined to do so, and I said, no, I won't be doing that. So that was already red flag number 1. Normally when I'm in an Uber, I talk on the phone with somebody throughout the entire Uber drive so that, I don't know, I just feel safer doing so. And I was doing that. I was on the phone with a friend, and nothing out of the ordinary happened while I was on the phone. I ended up hanging up the phone with my friend, and immediately when I hung up the phone, so there's no longer a witness. Immediately when I hung up the phone, my Uber driver, he grabbed his phone off of the stand that it was on in the car, took it in his hand, and shut off his phone. And then he cuts off a few cars, makes a wrong turn that he wasn't supposed to make, and he keeps driving. And I said, sir, you're going the wrong way. That's not the way that you're supposed to be going. He ignores me. He keeps driving. And then he makes another turn onto a random side street, and he pulls the car over and he stops the car. Then he locks the door and he starts reaching around for something. I am freaking out. I am terrified in this moment. I do not know what is about to happen to me. I am shaking. I'm so scared. So all I could think of to do in that moment, I took my hands and I manually unlocked the car door. I jumped out of the car and I took off running down the street. Like, I am sprinting out of breath. I'm shaking. I thought I was going to die. I genuinely, in that moment, I'm not thinking trafficking. I'm not thinking, oh my God, he might assault me. Like, I genuinely, in my mind, I thought that I was going to die and he was going to kill me. That's what I thought. It was the most terrifying thing that's ever happened to me. And when I got out and I took off running down the street, he starts calling after me, and it looks like he's about to get out of the car. I don't know. So I picked up my phone and I dialed the first number that was the last number in my phone, which was the friend that I was talking to previously. And the second he saw that I was making a phone call, he backed off. I think. I don't know, because I kept running. And then I ended up calling another Uber, and I waited for what felt like an hour, but it was 8 minutes, and I was terrified. It was the longest 8 minutes of my entire freaking life. And yeah, I genuinely, looking back, I'm thinking maybe it was trafficking. I don't know what his intentions were. I genuinely have no idea, but all I know is that that was not a safe scenario. And yeah, it was the most terrifying moment of my entire life. Thinking back, it's hard to talk about because it was really, really freaking scary. And I didn't know what was going to happen to me. And in that moment, I thought I was going to die. So I had to sleep with the lights on. I had to sleep with the lights on for several days afterwards. I was just so scared. I honestly don't know if I can ever take an Uber again. And if I do, it won't be alone. But yeah, I just want to come on here and talk about my experience because I just want people to be safe. And, you know, never be too confident or sure or careful. You can never be too careful. Just be aware of your surroundings. And if something doesn't feel right, please trust your gut and don't stay in that situation. Get the heck out. So yeah, that's what happened to me. This happened in Miami, and it was just really, really scary. So I hope that this doesn't happen to anybody else, but if you are in an Uber, just please be aware of your surroundings. Please stay safe. Carry pepper spray if you have it. I don't know, something. Always have a charged phone and have a charger with you, one of those portable chargers, to make sure that you can call for help if you ever need to. And just stay safe out there, please, because this was really, really scary and I don't know what was going to happen to me.
There are so many videos to pick from. In fact, if you just go to TikTok, there are so many to pick from. I just had to pick those two because I don't want this video to be too long. But there are some things that we do as women, and this is something that most men don't actually have to think about. But there's some things that we do. We have to have like the conversation in our mind, like what thing to say to these Uber drivers to make them think that, oh, actually we have somebody waiting for us. We have to. These are things that men don't have to think about. And some of the videos I'm going to play are this is nothing that'll be new to women, but it's just something that maybe if I have male viewers, they will see what the kind of the kind of things that we have to think about just because of our own safety. So there's some things that men don't have to think about because of safety that we women have to. So some of the videos I'll play now are some of the tips and tricks we use to kind of make ourselves less kidnap worthy. You understand? To make it harder for the person to kidnap us. Yeah, and these are things that men will not have to think about. And I'm just playing this because I know women already know it. It's something that is second nature to us. But I'm not going to play this because later on, some people are against the policy that protects women. So I just want to play this in case I have like male viewers, and also to give us more tips and tricks as well to keep ourselves safe as women.
I'm not going to your house.
I'm not going to
I'm
your
not
house.
going to
I
your
will
fucking
say-
house.
I will say
I'm not going to your house. That was weird to say. No. Fuck no. And I'm calling the police on you.
Go ahead.
And I'm calling the police on you. You're weird as fuck. No. That was the weirdest fucking interaction I've ever fucking had in my life.
So on this video, Uber has commented saying, support team here. We appreciate your patience while we investigate these incidents. This type of behavior is unacceptable and the driver has been permanently deactivated from the Uber platform. So good that they took this seriously because sometimes they don't, to be honest with you. Well, in this kind of situation, some people are just weird in the comment section, but sometimes it's just rage bait because somebody is saying you framing bro, somebody is saying lies, she just wanted a free ride. Like, do you understand and then next thing they'll be like, oh, it's not all men. It's all men until it's no men. If the, I'm sure these kind of people are the ones that will do something weird, but will not get checked by their bros because men are actually scared of men as well. Yeah. But men are scared of men. They understand that, but they don't understand why women should be scared of men. Women that they already know that the average woman is not as strong as the average man. The delusion, the mental backflips men have to do. In some cases, it's just absurd. Anyway, more videos.
It's a request.
It's a request?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Please.
No. Thank you, though.
Little bit.
No. But thank you for the ride home.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Don't worry,
nice.
Please.
No.
Can I touch you on lick? Only lick.
No.
Leg,
No.
please.
No. That is so strange.
Please.
No! Just because you say please, unlock the door, please. Thank you.
Please one time.
No, sorry.
Little bit.
No, that's so weird. I already said no like 5 times.
What?
I already said no like 5 times. I said no.
Can I take, can you give me contact?
No, absolutely.
What'd you say?
Your boyfriend must be lucky to have you. I hope he takes good care of you. Do you live with your boyfriend?
What'd you say?
Do you live with your boyfriend?
I live with a few roommates.
No. Do you think it'll be possible for me to see you again?
To see you again, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe you'll get another ride from me or something.
I don't know. You don't get this luck to me carry a beautiful girl like this all the time. But won't you give me the opportunity to see you again?
Maybe.
Maybe? Can I get your number or you get my number?
Yeah.
My number is 614
Okay.
680
680
1269.
1269. Okay, and what's your name?
Justin?
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna give a little backstory. So I just got picked up from getting my hair done. I got a silk press. It's silking. And it was going well at first. He was just asking like, how are you? You know, blah blah blah, random things. And then that's when he started getting weird. He was looking at me in the rearview mirror, just like staring, and he was like, I can't take my eyes off you. Like, you're just so beautiful. You're just so gorgeous. I was like, ah, thank you. You know. And then he just kept going. He was like, do you have a boyfriend? I was like, yeah, I do. I don't. And then he was like, oh, like, he's so lucky. I wish you didn't have a boyfriend. You shouldn't have told me you had a boyfriend. Again, just the awkward, haha. Yeah. He was like, your boyfriend is very lucky. Like, he's very lucky. And that's when I realized that I needed to start recording, because this is being reported. And by the way, I did report it. I called Uber safety hotline, whatever, and they're looking into this. But yeah, I mean, the first like moment that he just started like flirting with me, I was just like, yeah, this is not gonna go well. And even just like the question, like, who do you live with? Like, you live with your boyfriend? Like, that kind of question just was a red flag to me automatically, because there are reasons why they ask you that, why men ask you that. Okay, there's been many stories, and that question has always been asked, because then they know if you're an easy target. If you live with other people, you're not an easy target. So that's why I said, I was like, oh, I live with my roommates or whatever, just so that it was clear that multiple people lived in my apartment. The creepiest part to me was when he was asking like if he could see me again. He was like, won't you let me see you again? And he was just staring at me in the rearview mirror, like his eyes just like, I don't even know what it was, but it just looked like bad news. That's what it looked like. But yeah, that really scared me. I was just like, oh, you know, a lot of people would just say no. Like, a lot of men, like, they're always saying just say no. By the way, mind you, this is what I'm wearing. For anyone who's gonna ask. No makeup on, no nothing, okay? The most I was doing was being nice, because that's what you have to do. You can't always be rude. You can't. Like, I know people say to say no, but that is not always the way to go, especially when you have no escape plan. Like, if you're in the back of someone's car, you can't exactly just say, no, leave me alone. Like, being rude, because normally I am rude, very rude to men who try to approach me in a weird way. But that resulted in me being followed before, literally followed out of the place that I was in, and just being watched, the whole time. That resulted in me being grabbed and being like trying to be put into the back of the car. That resulted in me being... Okay, so I don't want anyone to tell me that I should have just been mean or said no. That's not how it works. Sometimes you have to play along, because who knows? Like, you never know what their intentions are. You never know what they're thinking. Like, oh, I want an opportunity to see this girl. So if she is being rude to me and doesn't want me to, if like she doesn't want to see me again, I'm gonna make sure she sees me again, you know? You never know how they're thinking. I don't want to even know. I don't want to know. I just want to get it over with and get out of the car, you know? There was not much for me to do in that situation. Mind you, at the end, at the drop-off point, thank God he didn't drop me off at my exact drop-off point, right? Because like in like the maps or whatever, it put a different drop-off point. It's like a little walk. So thank God he doesn't know where I live, but he knows the area. I was literally like ready to get out, but I think he had the child safety lock on. Grabbed the door, and I was like looking at the door. I was like, where's the locks? I wish I got a video of that, but I wasn't. He was looking at me. Like, it was hard to just like actually record like that. But it was like a weird lock, so I couldn't just like flip the lock. Tried to open the door, and he was like, hey, like, text me first, like, text me so I can have your number. It's like, oh shoot, like, what was it again? Because in the video, like I showed you, I wasn't actually looking, like, I wasn't actually putting in the number. I didn't expect him to like text me first, like, oh gosh. So I'm like, oh wait, did you get the text? Oh shoot, I got the wrong number, you know? Whatever. And then I texted him, he was like, okay, and then unlocked the door. Waited for me. Did not want me to get out. Did not want me to get out until I texted him, so that he could have my number. And obviously that's like a huge red flag. Like, you're not supposed to flirt with people that you're driving with anyway. But yeah, he's really creepy. You see how easy that was for him to like keep me in the car? It was really easy. All it was the child safety lock that does not allow you to unlock the door. That's all it was. So just imagine if I said, F off, like, don't talk to me, you know? I don't want to test it out, because you know what? My knife was in my other purse. I had my pepper spray. I don't trust my pepper spray. I want something that I can, you know? I didn't have that with me. So that was a big no-no. I wasn't playing around that day. I was like, nope, not playing around. If I don't have the necessary weapons I need, I can't do this. Like, I can't be rude or even test it out, like what he might do. So, but yeah, this is just to bring awareness. Girls, be safe, okay? Ubering alone. I've Ubered alone many, many times, but it's not always great, okay? Because sometimes you get men who are just too much. Like, this is real stuff. Like, there has been many people who have been sexually assaulted in rides. Don't test it. Honestly, the best way to do it is to just be nice. Obviously, if they're like telling you, come to my place, like, let's go to my place instead, that's when you like put a guard up, maybe call the police. But I wouldn't. Please be careful out there. It doesn't matter how you look.
For me, like, being nice, being rude, they can still end you in the same place. It's not about if she was nice, and it has never been about what people hear. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see that. So it's like, at this point, you have to then start thinking, oh, should I do this? What should I say? What? Because no matter what you say, it all depends on what the person has in their mind to do. But at the same time, you just have to find a way to be diplomatic about it. Anyway, but I don't think it was child lock in that situation because there's some cars that they just have a central lock that, and there's no like physical place where you can actually see a lock and unlock button on each of the doors. But because child lock cannot be opened, the man has to come outside the car to open it for you for child lock. That is what child lock is. You cannot. There's no setting that he can do within the car that can open a child lock from inside. So later on, I'll show you a video of how to unlock, how to check for child lock and how to unlock it in a car, because that one is not what can be controlled. The person has to, somebody from outside the door has to be the one to open it. So I think in this situation, it was just like a central control, central lock from the car that she just was not able to undo. But just stay safe. If you have any other tricks and tips, just put it in the comment section. Let's keep ourselves safe.
What is my favorite gun? My favorite gun is a Glock 43. Unfortunately, they're not legal in California, even with my concealed carry. I don't want to talk about prison right now. And yes, I'm still donating money to the victim's family. Yeah, I go to the range almost every weekend. I go with my husband and all of my brothers. I'll pick you up after you get off. Do you want in and out? You are the best big brother ever. I didn't even know you were in here. Oh, my cousin's in the chat. Not you tracking me.
If you don't understand what just happened, so the lady just before the last was like, "Oh, I actually love being a police." We all know that she's not a police officer, but these are things that you have to say. The other one is pretending, full on pretending to be in a live chat with her brothers, with her father, telling, "Oh, what is my favorite gun? Say, concealed to carry. Oh, I'm still paying money to the victim's family." I swear, you just have to. Sometimes you just have to, especially when you're feeling like a weird situation, because this is so common. Like, it's so common. I don't even know why I'm laughing about it, because it's just something that only women will understand. It's not something that you can explain. If a man cannot understand this, he cannot understand it. Like, some men are not very smart, so you need to literally draw the plan for them to understand it. Anyway, so this is what Uber has put in place to kind of stop or reduce, because they cannot stop it, to reduce it. By the way, this thing that they have put in place was done in other countries. This is not the first country that's actually been done in, and I feel that they are just doing this in now, because most of these things are posted. Some of them are from 2 years ago, some of them are from this year, some of them I had a combination of many years. So but they had an option to do this all this while, but they did not do it. So I feel they're just doing it now because there's just more and more cases of this happening. So listen to what Uber has done or is trying to do in some areas of US to reduce this harassment and abuse that women are going through.
Uber's rolling out a new feature today that lets women request a woman driver and vice versa. It's the latest move from Uber to address safety on its platform. The feature will start rolling out next month in San Francisco, LA, Detroit. The requests are not guaranteed, but the new tool, the company says, certainly increases the chances that women will be paired together.
Of course, the men in the comment section are just going crazy. Like, they cannot imagine such a situation happening. Just showing how ignorant they are. Somebody said, so can men request men? Somebody, yeah, it's called grinder. Another one is like, oh, can men ask for no, can I get only men drivers then, because I don't want a crash? Somebody was like, oh, it's if that's what you want, buddy. But it is also a stereotype, and it is actually statistically and by research it is wrong, because that women cause more crashes. No, men actually are the ones that cause more crashes, and they're the ones that in most fatal accidents. So that's just misogyny, and obviously. So anyway, if you go to the comment section on the video, you just see them crashing out there, just foolishness. Oh, by the way, apologies. There's something happening. The flu. I really cannot tell you. I think maybe allergy something. I've taken allergy medication, but it's still not curbing it for today. So I don't know what happened. So please bear with me with my sneezing and all that. Apologies.
Hold on, wait a minute. They don't have to ride in the car with men anymore. Well, how the hell I'm gonna get them alone? Nah, this discrimination. How I'm supposed to get these hoes cornered and get their number? I only went down the dark alley because I knew a shortcut. Come on, y'all. I was trying to save her time. Well, what, she mad because I asked for her number? She in my back seat. I can't ask her for her number in my back seat. I blame feminism. All right. I asked her if she wanted some company in the back seat, but I was just joking. It was just a joke. They just mad that I'm a high-value man. That's it. Fuck it, I don't need y'all. All I need is my boys. All I need is my boys. I ain't never gonna meet nobody at this rate. I don't get it. My mom thinks I'm a nice guy. What's wrong with the rest of these bitches? That's why that red pill was easy to swallow. Fuck it, I prefer the company of men anyway. Not like that though. Not like that, because alpha males are cool with other alpha males sometimes. I ain't gay! Why don't they like me?
So, if you do ride share, Uber, next month, y'all hear this, next month, Uber is gonna have an option for women to only have women drivers come pick them up. It's gonna be an option because in the last couple years, and I'm sure you guys already know, there's been women being raped and there's been women, being kidnapped. So all I'm saying is Uber is gonna try this new feature to make women feel safer, I guess. But yeah, I don't know if that's gonna make a difference because they have women unalivers too. So, but I don't know. Maybe it will make a difference.
So apparently, starting next month, Uber will launch a feature allowing women to request women-only rides by selecting this preference in the app settings for both riders and drivers. So a lot of women are saying this is good. We don't want to ride with male riders. They're creepy. But this is where the lines get blurred at. Let's just say a female driver who only wants to drive females, right? She accepts a ride from a female. After the club, the female is drunk. She accepts that ride. She pulls up to pick up the female, and all of a sudden the female has her boyfriend, a guy she just met, a brother, a cousin, or somebody with her. Is this female driver now to say, I'm sorry, miss, you can't ride with me because I don't want any men in my car? I don't see how that's fair. I see how this could actually become more of a problem than help, because now men are feeling left out. It's like, okay, so if we're drunk and we're on the side of the street and my sister is being nice by taking me home, you mean to tell me I can't get in this Uber with my sister because the driver doesn't want a man in the car because she feels unsafe? I feel like this is kind of like weird, but good for women. This is good for women who have been through things or who do really feel unsafe riding with males. But I feel like this still is kind of crazy.
So I saw this report that Uber will allow women drivers and women riders to avoid being paired with men next month. And look, I'm all for women's safety. If women like it, I love it. But I think a lot of people are missing the point about truly protecting women. If you want to protect women, if you want to protect anybody when it comes to Lyfts, Ubers, whatever you want to call it, how about you do a better job of your background checks? How about you do a better job of vetting those who are going to be associated with using your app? Because a lot of times it's not about the wolf. Sometimes it's actually about the wolf in sheep's clothes. Sometimes to get to a woman isn't by force. Sometimes to get to a woman is not about putting her in a position to feel afraid. But the best way to get to a woman is by making her feel safe. And what will make another woman feel safe? Another woman. And I'm not saying women don't look out for other women, but sometimes women also are dangerous. Sometimes women are horrible people. Sometimes women can manipulate you and put you in harm's way without you even knowing it. I get we live in this world that we think men are dangerous, and I'm not going to act like men cannot be dangerous, but women can be just as dangerous. They can put you in position to be taken advantage of. So instead of focus on only avoiding certain types of genders, how about you do a better job of vetting the people that you're going to have your customers around? And maybe create a system where your customers can also be vetted as well. Create an app on quality, effectiveness, and safety instead of quick, fast, and in a hurry.
So women are not doing the same thing men are doing. Basically, the rate at which women are abusing or harming other women, especially in this particular case of Uber, is definitely not the same as the rate at which men are doing it. So you cannot say that women can hurt them as much as men. Like that is not really logical. Like it doesn't make any sense because even typically there are more male drivers than female drivers. I understand his point that he's saying, oh, there should be vetting system and the rest. Very good that there should be vetting system, but this particular thing can solve more than half of the problem because the ratio of male to female perpetrators of violence is male 9 to 1, 9 to 1. So if they can sort out, and I know that this is not going to solve the whole problem, but it's actually a problem that can happen now and will have a good impact or a high impact in what's actually happening now. That's we're talking about a theoretical situation in the future where they will do extra checks. They should do extra checks because I know that even taxi services, you used to have to go through the government to register to get the license to be a taxi person, and it's not as much checks that's happening to the Uber drivers now. Good and fine, they should do all that, but the idea of saying, oh, it goes both ways, because this kind of men will always say it goes both ways. No matter when you just say anything that men do, it's always it goes ways. So women can also put you in the situations where they can manipulate you, blah 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 blah. It is not the same thing. 9:1 is not an it's not an even ratio. Oh, there's no how you want to flip. There's no how you want to flip this. Let me read a comment in some of the comments from this video. One lady, obviously, pick me. She said, I feel bad for the decent, honest male Uber drivers who will lose out on business. And 100% agree, Uber should vet their employees. Totally agree. Anyway, I'm sad that I'm not happy that I called her a pick me, but why are you feeling bad for you? If you had anybody to feel bad for in this situation, you should feel bad for the women that are in the situation. I feel bad for the 100%. Oh, these women are so fucking annoying. Oh, also sorry for swearing. There's another lady that, let me see that comment. Yeah, so this lady was like, I definitely understand what you're saying and I agree with you, but as a woman, that this feels like a shift in the right direction. I've never had a report. I've never had to report a female driver. However, I've had to report male drivers on multiple occasions. This will definitely ease my mind a little. And then he replies, firstly, I'm glad that this makes you feel at ease and it makes you feel safe. I want that for you. I'm not against it. I just believe there's so much more that could be done. This video genuinely came from a good place. All right, good and fine. I know this video came from a good place. That's her response. I know the video came from a good place, and I wasn't offended at all. I just feel like with everything that's happening in the world, we have to start from somewhere, right? Like seriously, he did not think of, like, I'm at the same time. I don't want you to misunderstand me. Them doing checks is very very important for them to do checks, but what is annoying me with this particular video is the fact that, oh, women are as harmful as men. Like there is no statistics under the sun that actually supports that statement. None. And it always happens like this when we're talking about serious situations and people like this that come with as if they are being sympathetic to the situation, but just come and throw something into the works that will from only that sentence, you know that it's not actually coming from a good place, as he's claiming it to be. Yeah. So let me read some of the statistics from FBI's reports and Uber report as well. Uber's first comprehensive safety report covering 2017 to 2018 saw nearly 6,000 sexual assault reports, with about half involving riders as accusers. So so both, what they call it, both the drivers and the accused and the passengers were also affected in the situation. In the 2019 to 2020 report, Uber reports 3,800 incidents, with 91 of rape victims being riders and 7% drivers, and the victims were 81 to 89% women. So why are the men in the comment section saying, oh, they want to get they want to get male drivers, and they don't want female drivers? They're not the one that are facing these violence and these sexual assaults. So why are they? You always hear them coming into the comment section to also like negate what. Anytime that women are trying to go in the right direction, they always want to jump on the bandwagon to also say, oh, we are also suffering. If you were suffering from it, go and start your own movement. You coming here in the middle of us trying to solve a problem that you also have a problem. This is not the right time. Watch and see how these men will not talk about this thing in 2 weeks' time. Just watch and see, because they actually don't care about it. They don't actually want to find a solution to the problem. They just want to open their mouth and yap. So, using the most recent reliable figures, you can considerably say for every female homicide offender in the US, there are about 8 to 9 male offenders, with males accounting for roughly 88 to 90% of offenders, and female about 10 to 12%. That is the 9-to-1 ratio we're talking about. 90% of them, 90% are female, are male perpetrators, and 20%, 12%, sorry, or 10% are male, female perpetrators. So this particular situation is going to reduce it drastically. They should also do the vetting and the checks, yes, but this thing is also going to. So I don't understand why. Anyway, I think I already get my point. There's no need to overflog it. So anyway, let's just watch other videos.
So Uber just introduced a feature that will allow women to only have female passengers. And the comments are on fire. If you're a man and this makes you angry, congratulations, you're the reason that feature exists. You're just mad you won't get your little forced interaction with a woman, and you have to put in actual effort to be worth talking to.
The way that y'all are reacting to this, you would think that you was trying to snatch a bitch off the streets next. You would think that Uber just ruined every single one of your evil plans from here to November. The way that y'all reacting to this shit, like, oh, no. I think this is a fucking big W. I think this is a win, not only for women, but for women's safety. As a father of a little girl and a brother to 8 sisters, I think this is a big-ass win. What the fuck do y'all have to be mad about? I literally don't know why. Is it because it's not tailored to everybody? Is it just because it's tailored to women? You know, everything is not for everybody. We're not fucking equal. We're not. With that, everything is not for everybody. Some things are going to be catered to just women, like tampons and pads and fucking prenatals and shit. Like, what is wrong with that? I'm starting to think y'all got evil intentions. The only thing for me personally is I want the same option. I want the same option to be able to pick the gender that I want to ride with. I just want the same option. But for y'all niggas to sit up here and be mad, y'all are as mad as the fucking Joker when Batman swung in with that fucking drop kick off that goddamn railgun. And I don't know why.
Uber is giving women the option to choose a woman driver. And the reaction to this has been hilarious. Because most people look at it and say, yeah, violence in Ubers is a real problem, like get in whatever car you feel comfortable in. But some people are a little bit too upset about it. Oh, what do you mean women only? Why don't you want to get in my car? Why is it women only, you stupid idiot? Like, I get you're upset, but you're not making the best case for yourself, right? Like, nobody listens to that and thinks, You're right, I shouldn't have been uncomfortable. I should have gotten in your car the whole time. This might not be a conversation for long though, because more robo-taxis are coming in more cities, so we won't have to deal with women drivers, men drivers, any drivers, just robots.
Just like Uber is allowing women to pick women drivers, the same option is for men. Y'all men also have the same fucking option if you want to just request a male driver. There really shouldn't be any problem, issue, and or concern. Now, should there be? But there is, and it is the fact of the matter that y'all can no longer partake in your weird ass fucking activities. Y'all can no longer harass women. Y'all can no longer corner women into a fucking Uber and figure out where the fuck she lives. Y'all can no longer sit in an Uber driven by a woman and harass her ass. Y'all can no longer do the shit that y'all are doing in these Ubers, and that's why you're fucking mad. Y'all talk about discrimination. What the fuck are we talking about? Y'all have the option too, but you are fully 110% proving why this option needed to be fucking had. Proving to Uber and all women, oh yeah, this shit should have been happening. This shit should have been an option a long fucking time ago, because you niggas are showing that you're fucking weirdos. Y'all niggas are mad because us as women are able to protect ourselves now in just a little bit more of a way. We can be a little bit more safer. No, y'all niggas are mad for the fact of the matter that your weird ass fucking activities you be partaking in are now being cut short. Y'all now are having a harder time figuring out what the fuck you're gonna do. How am I gonna be able to harass women now? How am I able gonna be a weird ass fucking predator ass nigga now? If Uber's allowing this option, how? That's what the fuck y'all are giving. That are mad? You're mad because you can no longer be a fucking weirdo. Y'all niggas need to get a fucking grip, real shit. Cause what? Mad about this? With the country and world that we're living in? That's fucking insane.
Like, you can opt to get female drivers, which just means if you don't opt for that, automatically you just get the normal service. Does that, according to Justin Bieber, is that clocking to you? If you don't opt in for that, that means you get the normal service. But there are just naturally and statistically more men Uber drivers than women. So even if you don't opt in specifically for women, you have a higher chance of getting a male driver. And you know what happens if you open it and you see, oh, it's a female driver and I don't want a female driver, you cancel the trip. That's why I say they're just here to make noise. They're just here to yap because they cannot fathom a situation where women actually have a chance to keep themselves safe. And next thing they will say is not all men. And these are the same men that will say it's not all men.
Make it make sense. So Uber has recently put into effect a new policy where female riders can now request to only be picked up by female drivers. And vice versa, female drivers can put in a preference where they will only pick up female passengers. And men are angry about it because of course they are. So for those of you who don't know, the reason this is going into effect is because there have been so many instances and so many complaints from both female riders and female drivers of being harassed by men who are in their cars or whose cars they get into. The amount of women who have been asked out on dates, who have had their numbers asked for, who have been asked, where they live, who have recorded their addresses when the women get out of the car. We've even seen far more serious cases where men literally stalk women who have ridden in their vehicles, or even worse. And I have seen so many reactions from men saying that's not fair. This is gonna hurt the earning potential of male drivers. This is discrimination. Maybe you should have a talk with your boys about not being fucking creeps, and this wouldn't be happening.
Uber just recently announced a policy in which it's going to allow women to request women drivers for their own safety, and I have thoughts. I'm one of those people who genuinely believes that women should just be suspicious of all men because honestly, you would be stupid not to. There at least used to be societal norms in which we could trust specific professions or understand that there were, boundaries. Due to a recent uptick in the amount of men who are driving women in their Ubers, asking them for their phone numbers and harassing them and essaying them, Uber is now instituting this new policy to protect their female users. I'm sorry, why has there been a massive influx in the amount of men who think it's appropriate to do these things, and why is nobody freaking dealing with them? Instead of instituting a policy in which women have to drive with other women for their own safety, why don't we just punish these men who make women feel uncomfortable while offering them a service? You can't continue to live in a high-trust society if you don't enforce a high-trust society. Trying to scurry it away is not going to fix the problem.
The men who are upset at Uber for allowing women to request a woman driver are the same men why this feature even exists in the first place. Because why the fuck are you upset that a woman is choosing not to be with your ass. Like, do you feel like you can only be around a woman if you trick them into being with you? Like, you have to be doing some kind of, like, service for them is the only way you're able to ever talk to them? If that's the case, there's probably something wrong with you. I'm going to be honest with you. Because I feel like I've never had that issue. And I think it's great. I have sisters, and I know men are idiots. There's a lot of stupid men out there who abuse their positions in life and take advantage of women, and it is what it is. And then women don't get believed, so I get it. I'm not trying to glaze women off of this, but I just can't believe that this is even a problem. I think the biggest problem is that there's a reason that women have to do this, because men can be terrible.
So if you have watched to this point in the video, please like this video and please subscribe. We're going to show some of the safety tips from other ladies that have been in this kind of situations.
Last week, I took an Uber and my driver was arrested. And I feel like I need to share my story because so many people who follow me are women. And I genuinely did not realize I was in a potentially unsafe situation until my driver was arrested. I ordered an Uber Black at the airport. I got in the car, everything seemed completely normal. And as soon as my driver pulls away, or is about to, a police officer knocks on the driver's side window and asks him to roll the window down and show him his app. Now, at first, I initially thought that this was probably some kind of traffic stop, and I didn't really think anything of it. But immediately, my Uber driver was super stressed, and he actually rolled his window back up and locked me in the car with him. He could not drive away because we were in complete traffic. I assumed that he was just very afraid of the police, and I urged him to follow the instructions of the police officer. And then I actually started recording because I figured it would be best for my safety and his. Obviously, the situation escalated because he'd actually locked me in the car with him, and so more police officers started coming and they were banging on the glass, telling him to let me out immediately. And when he realized I was recording, instead of like maybe being relieved, he actually looked at me and said, "Please say that you got in the wrong car." And that's when I realized something was super off. But obviously at that point, I wanted to exit the vehicle. I did not want any issues. And I said, yes, of course, just let me out, just let me out. After that, they immediately got me out of the car, pulled me over to the side, asked me to show them my Uber app. And so I showed them my Uber app, and lo and behold, the name of my driver does not match the name of this person when they checked his license. He had bought this account from somebody else and was impersonating another driver. They explained to me that this is happening more and more. That could be because they have some prior convictions, they're an unsafe driver, or potentially even worse, that they have assaulted someone or want to assault someone. I was super shocked, and I realized that something that I'm not doing that I could have done that could have potentially prevented me from getting in the car with this person is I don't really look at the tiny photo in the app of the driver that much. It's really small. You actually have to click on it to make it bigger. I did not really think about it. I take so many Ubers, and I really just thought that as long as the driver had my information and I matched their license plate, it was completely okay. And the police were really nice. They obviously did not blame me at all for the situation. They said that I did nothing wrong, but they did urge me to next time open up the profile photo on your app, look at them and see if it looks similar, and then ask them their name. You are also allowed to ask your driver to show you their license. And if their license photo does not match the name, you just cancel the ride. I feel like he was probably on their radar for things that were not good, and I'm just really, really grateful that I was okay. But I hope that this story helps you and that you remember this story now next time you get into an Uber, because I genuinely don't want this to happen to anybody else.
Yesterday around 3 o'clock, I was at a coffee shop over in Germantown in Nashville, and I was leaving this coffee shop to go back to my friend's house and took an Uber. The Uber driver, it was the same guy, the same car, the same license plate, everything was fine. It was a nicer, newer car, kind of an SUV. And when I got in the car, I was on the phone with my friend and we were just chatting and nothing was weird. This was a 15-minute Uber ride. And then I hung up with my friend about like 6 minutes later. And at this point I have my AirPods in and I'm like on my phone. We're at a red light and all of a sudden my driver puts his sweatshirt up over his nose. And in front of the center console, I just see what looks to be some gas being released. I remember seeing it just out of my peripheral vision, and I look up and I see it, look at the mirror, and he's looking directly at me with his thing over his nose. I don't breathe for a second because in my brain, I'm like, what if I'm about to be drugged? I breathe in the slightest amount. I'm not even kidding, like little breath in, immediately felt tingles all through my body. it literally felt like everything just like zoom, like everything was slowing down. And it felt like I was about to pass out. It was a sweet scent. I did some research and I'm pretty sure it was chloroform. And thank God the second I felt it, my arms felt limp. I grabbed the door handle. Thank God it was unlocked. Grabbed my stuff, walked out, ran out of the car pretty much. And the guy was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" Ran to the corner where there was a woman standing there. Like she was waiting to cross the street. And I tried to get help. I tried to tell her what happened, to tell somebody what happened, because I literally felt like I was about to pass out. And I couldn't talk. I was like, and I couldn't talk to this woman and tell her what had just happened. And it was so scary. And then immediately then and there, I was like realizing I almost just died. So please, ladies and gentlemen, always keep a window cracked. Always stay on the phone. If you see smoke, don't breathe it in, because I'm pretty sure it was chloroform. And also, trafficking is huge and we have to be more careful. I never thought this would ever happen to me. I'm very, very thankful that I trusted my gut. Even for the second that I paused and didn't breathe it in, like if I hadn't looked up from my phone, that would have been scary.
Okay, so ladies, when you're getting into an Uber, it's very important to find the child lock and make sure that the lock is actually unlocked and not on the lock, because this is one of the fastest ways to get trafficked. So what I've noticed is a lot of women don't know where the child lock is or what it is. This is exactly what you want to look for when you're getting into a car, or it'll be on the side.
So I'm going to give you some safety tips based on the number of videos that I have watched online. So I know that these safety tips are not going to they're not going to protect you, but at least it eliminates some of the ways they can they can kidnap you. You're not too big for them to kidnap you. Me, I was thinking that by the time I reach a particular weight, I'm too big for them to carry me. But my dear, you're not too big for them to carry you. If they're really, really looking for you, they'll carry you. Anyway. So the first one is this child lock. That one is the most important one, because at least we can talk and roll. You can open the door, talk and roll. But if you are confined in that car, your chances are limited. Because when we're younger, they'll be like, "Oh, make sure you don't go to a secondary location." But if you're in an Uber, you are already en route to a secondary location. Do you understand? So make sure that you are in a, you can the child lock is open. It is an open sign and there's a close sign. And as she said, it can either be on the door this side or by the side of the door. Make sure you check it. You will look stupid, but you rather look stupid than look dead. So you check that. So another thing is, I realized that before I'll be able to go into the Uber. Like before I go into the Uber, I can ask, "Oh, so who is the person that you want to pick?" Just to confirm, so they can say my name. But recently they've been saying, "Oh no, you say your name," because according to from what I've heard, they've also had people claiming to be in the right Uber and they're in the wrong Uber. So what I have been doing is, I'll be like, "Oh, TK." What I was like, "Oh, I'm TK." Then they'll confirm that yes, it's TK they want to pick, and then I will ask them, so what's your own name, just to make sure I'm comparing it to them as well. So you can also ask for their driver's license to match the name with the name that is on the thing. And you can just say, "Oh, just to check just for safety reasons, just say that." And then so yeah, normally you match the number, the plate number to that's there with the plate number that's on the car, and make sure you sit down at the back of the car. Don't sit down in front, because sitting down at the back gives you like I like sitting down diagonal to the driver, just so that it give me a view of what he is doing. If you're sitting down beside him, you will not be able to see, like you won't be able to have a proper view of the whole situation, and it's harder for them to like stretch back to try to harm you or stuff. Like it gives you enough time, you understand. Then so share your trip with somebody in real time. And me, I have my location turned on to my friends and my family. Now I have family living here in the UK, so I have my trip turned on, so like my live location is there, but still you can share your trip with somebody. And the other and um so don't share any personal information with the driver. If they're asking you, oh, do you live alone, you never live alone. No, I don't live alone. I live with family. My father is actually waiting for me to arrive. My brother is actually waiting for me to arrive. And lastly, um always trust your guts. Trust your guts, because we have trained it. I think as women, it is just something that we have, instincts. Men also have this instincts, but we use it more because we're obviously always in a position where we are usually the prey in most situations. So trust your guts no matter what. And it may look awkward, it may seem awkward, but it's still better to end the trip, to ask them to stop the car. It's still better than to just say, all right. Like, if it's safe though, before you ask them to stop. Okay. Yeah. So uh, we can just try our best at this point. It's quite sad that we have to think about all these things. It's quite sad that we have to do that, but that's where we are. So please try to be safe. If you have any other tips, any other safety tips that I have missed, that you go by, let us know in the comment section. Always happy to learn more, because as I said, all these things, it's just you asking. It's eliminating any of the tricks and any of the ways that they will be able to harm you. It eliminates it. It's better for you to eliminate as much as possible, and then, than to just go in blindly. Understand? Yeah. All right. So with that said, I think that's the end of this video. Please like if you like the video, share with your friends. Also let me know your tips and tricks in the comment section. And what do you think about the new policy? Do you think it's coming too late? Do you think they could have come earlier? Do you think it's going to solve the problem? Is there another way of solving the problem? All right, let me know all that in the comment section, and I'll be there to see you. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.